If you'd like to see how I'm going to transform this bottle of Ciroc pineapple into this lovely glittered bling yellow bottle, keep watching this video. Hey YouTube! So today I'm going to be adding some glitter and some embellishments to this 750 milliliter bottle of Ciroc pineapple. And this is going to be a birthday gift for my customer. And originally she wanted some rhinestones. But because it's just such a tight notice and I have some other things that I need to do, I told her I could do glitter if she wants it, in such a last minute. So she said that that was fine. But she requested yellow glitter, and luckily I have some Recollections polyester glitter. Now it's called Sunshine, and this did come from Michael's. It's very sheer though. I've never used it and it's very, very sheer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to paint this bottle with some yellow because I really want this to pop. I don't want this to look really sheer. I want this to have the maximum sparkle as it can possibly get. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. You'll need some type of sponge to go ahead and smooth the paint on. It's optional, but I just think painting it is gonna be good for it. I've already wiped this bottle down with some alcohol. I'm just gonna squirt a little bit of paint in this lid, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So I'm just gonna start off by painting this bottle, which was much needed. The glitter I started out using was very, very sheer and didn't have much coverage at all. Dry. And now I'm going to be adding on the Mod Podge and the glitter. Now the thing about this glitter that concerns me, I just poured some in this cup, clear kind of material. It doesn't look like glitter. It's like so sheer is what I'm trying to say. So I have a little bit of gold, just in case I have to add a little bit of gold. I'm just gonna have to think outside the box and possibly do this, but we're gonna see how this goes. I have Mod Podge, and this is the gloss luster kind, and I already have some in this little lid. I have a brush here, or you could use a sponge brush. I usually use a sponge brush, but this one is so skinny and narrow, I'll just use this brush. So I'm gonna go ahead and
So I'm just trying to make sure that the Mod Podge is nice and even, and I'm just gonna go in sections, adding on the glitter. And as you can see, this glitter is extremely, extremely transparent. I did not know that. Had I known, I most likely would not have purchased this glitter.
To it. So you can see it has some sparkle to it, but it is just way too sheer for my liking. I think I'm gonna have to add a little bit of this gold to this cup. Well, I need this to pop. I feel like it's so sheer. You can see my brush lines from the paint, and I don't want that. So hopefully it gives it not gold because they requested yellow, but it needs something. I just feel like it's just not. Can you imagine if I didn't put the paint on the bottle, how this would look?
I originally thought adding the gold glitter would be a good idea, but it actually wasn't. It looked terrible. And let me just apologize because for some reason my memory card had an error. So there are a few pieces missing from this video, like me adding the bling to the bottle at the end and me adding some glitter on some points on this video. So if it's shortened in certain areas, that's why.
It's just not going the way I wanted it to. So I think I'm gonna have to wash this off and start this over because I don't like it. I need something with more coverage. I don't like the way the gold looks added on to here. I don't like it at all. So I may even have to run to the store and get another glitter because I can't do this if I don't like it. I can't get somebody something I don't like, and I just can't. So okay, so I went ahead and scraped that off because it was awful, you guys. It was just awful.
So this is my little craft bowl. So if you got some paint stuff, I'm just showing you what I did. I just kind of went and held this in the bowl in the sink, scraped like this, and got that off of there. I'm gonna keep this because it's just paint at the top and I'm gonna have to repaint it anyway. Then I'm gonna go over with some hot water. So I'm just kind of letting you guys know how I'm getting this off really quickly. And I'm gonna go to the store. Oh, maybe I'll take my camera with me. I'm gonna go to the store and find some better yellow paint. But yeah, this.
Okay, so I came to Michael's to get some glitter, and this one caught my eye because it's very close to the color that I need, but look how transparent this one looks. I didn't want to make the same mistake, so I just wanted to make sure I was carefully reviewing and trying my best to get a good idea. Look, this is what I have at home. In the store, you really can't tell it's that sheer, but it's extremely sheer. So this one looks like it's not that sheer. I think I ended up not getting that one. These smaller bottles were like really fine and not chunky, and they look like they appeared to have a little more coverage. So what I ended up doing is putting this bigger bottle back and getting these two smaller bottles right there. Those two, you'll see when I get home. Then over on this other side, she called these kid glitters. So I guess they weren't that serious, but I actually probably should have gotten one of those because I like the non-polyester glitters.
With some hot water, and I just kind of left the top area because I hadn't put that glitter on that part yet. So I'm just gonna start over from scratch. I probably won't record this part, but I just want to show how I was able to get all of that off the bottle. And I'm just gonna go ahead and start painting. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let this dry. This is the first coat, but there's some areas here that are just lumpy. I don't have this issue when I'm using other glitters, I guess, that are non-polyester. I don't know what that's about. It's just blotchy. I don't know. It's just giving me a hard time, and I don't know why. I don't know. I'm gonna take a little sandpaper and see if I can kind of smooth out this odd looking area here. Let's see here. And then I'll go over it with a second layer. And this is just a little 100 grit Dollar Tree sandpaper. So I just want to make it smooth and even. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, I guess I was a little hard on that area right there, so I have to fix that.
So I got home, I added on the glitter that I purchased from the store. I think it was called Sunflower, if I'm not mistaken. That part of the video was cut out. Again, I do apologize for that, but it's the same process. I just went ahead and sprinkled it on. Here's me adding some of it on now. It's actually a very pretty color, but if you pay close attention, look at that. Look at that little effect that's going on there. Can somebody please tell me what that is? Is that something that only happens when you use Mod Podge with polyester glitter or extra fine glitter? I don't have this issue when I use non-polyester glitter. And non-polyester glitter is supposed to be the bomb because it costs a lot more. And I don't know. I used it once before a long time ago. I bought some pink glitter and it did the same thing to me, and it was kind of lumpy. I just found it very difficult to work with. But maybe it'll be better if I use a different glitter. I don't know, you guys. Let me know what you think. But this bottle gave me a hard time. In the end, I was able to get it to look a lot better once I added the rhinestones and once it fully dried.
Okay, so the color is pretty, but this extra fine glitter, I find it very hard to work with, and I'm not pleased. It's kind of smooth for the most part right here, but it's just still way too many imperfections. This is a little crooked, but that's fine because I was going to trace that out with some rhinestones anyway. I'm trying to see how I can save this. If not, I'll just have to wash this off again. I don't even know what to do with this. But the idea that I got from my husband, he said to try to, now that I have this backdrop, try to now put this on it. So I'm gonna do that and see what happens because I have to get this figured out. so I can move on. So this is the third and final coat, and I went back to the original glitter that I used, the chunky transparent one, because I just had too many imperfections in that extra fine glitter. And because I didn't know what to do, I was going to rinse it off and start again, but my husband was like, why don't you try that again? It was a great idea. Sometimes you need a second opinion, and I think it looks really, really good with a nice sturdy backdrop behind it, because remind you, it's super transparent. It gave it like a nice, like, to me, like in the end, it looked like a nice little like fur. You know, people have like a fox fur coat and it looks like it's like a little fuzzy. It gave it a nice fuzzy textured look, and I liked it. I liked it a lot better. I mean, it was a lot of work. I did have to do 2 different coats of an extra fine glitter just to be able to use the sheer glitter, but I kind of feel like it worked out. Glitter that gave me a hard time, and then it's 1 coat of a very thin transparent chunky glitter, and I think it has like a nice furry look to it. It's very different, but I like it much better than I did to begin with. So I'm going to seal this with some liquid glass. TriArt liquid glass is what I'm going to use. It has like kind of a thin consistency, so I just pour it on the bottle and kind of work it in. So this liquid glass is really thin. I just kind of pour it, move it, and groove it across the whole bottle. Let it dry I let it dry overnight. So once it dried, I feel like it was a lot better. I felt so much better about it, because at first I was like, I can't present this to this person. When I gave it to her, she looked at it and she said that she loved it and it came out very pretty and it made me feel really good. I did end up liking the last result. I've never had such a hard time with a bottle. I just never had such a hard time like this, but it did end up working out. Sometimes you have to try different things and different methods, more coats, less coats, but here is the final finished result, you guys. And this yellow is so pretty because it's nice and bright. I love bright colors. I like the rhinestones being added onto it. Let me know what you guys think about this yellow glitter. Have you ever used this yellow glitter before, or are you into polyesters? But thanks you guys for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did find it helpful. You can follow me on Instagram at LifeIsAWholeVibe. Bye-bye. MyRoyalRadiance.com, where we sell lip gloss, hand sanitizers, shoe charms, and much more. Use my coupon code ROYALBEAUTY10OFF for a special discount for my subscribers. Be sure to check out our website, CROC.com, where we sell in-waistband gun holsters available in 4 different sizes. We also carry gun cleaning mats and much more. Use my special discount code VIBES, VIBES. You can also follow me on TikTok at LifeIsAWholeVibe as well. And be sure to check out my playlist. I have plenty other videos embellishing liquor and wine bottles also. Bye-bye.